Did you know that that actually also applies to an applicator being in the form of a human tongue and a closure being in the form of a human lip? How many of you got a cat? Thinking toes coming. How many of you got a cat and a laser point? How many of you have got a cat and a laser point and a laser pointer and done this or this? Okay, so you just all contribute behaviour, which is a method for inducing cats to exercise, consisting of directing a beam of invisible light produced by a handheld laser apparatus onto the floor, wall, or other opaque surface in the vicinity of the cat, and then moving that laser pointer so that to cause a bright pattern of light to move in an irregular fashion. So I imagine if we've got a perfect circle, you'd probably be okay. Which is fascinating to cats and any other animal with a chase instinct. Now, at the beginning I just talked to you about the fact that you own that patent, okay? Well, this patent is also patented on a pet toy, a laser pet toy, automatic laser pet toy and exerciser, and a method and apparatus for automatically exercising a curious animal. So, seriously, why am I here? All of these patents are basically out of thought. They're about ideas, which can easily be applied to software. So, well, that's good, you might think, because then small companies will have a chance against big monoliths if they have an idea and they want to protect that idea. So, well, unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way because you've got these large monolithic companies that have lots and lots of patents, and, well, they cross-license these patents, so Microsoft and IBM generally don't charge each other for these patents because they use each other, so it's a mutual agreement. But they get them for free. So imagine you have one patent. Microsoft and IBM both infringe that patent. That's awesome, because now you can sue. But the problem is that you infringe a lot of their patents, which means that they can both sue you. In fact, they can also sue your customers. Or they can just destroy your company or project altogether, which is probably more likely. So the only way to win is to have lots of patents. Lots and lots and lots of patents, however ridiculous they might be. So the net effect is that software patents harms inventors, it stifles innovation. So while I say that patents rock, I need to extend by saying that software patents suck. And that's my answer. Thank you. Show me here. Well, there we go. Excellent. So, this is a talk about talks. It does contain some sort of half-baked ideas. It's not completely well thought out. But, thesis, a boring talk is a bad talk. You can have a cure for cancer, you can have a solution to all the world's problems. If you stand there and talk like this and nobody's listening, then it's a bad talk. They won't pay attention. They may in fact hate your idea because you've just bored them for 45 minutes. Don't do that. So, what makes a talk boring? One thing I've discovered from watching a lot of talks at a lot of conferences, traditional slides, bullet points, PowerPoint templates, they really don't help. They make it actually worse. You can fix this really easily. It's hard to write good content. It's much easier to make your good content look pretty. So we're computer scientists, optimize, do the easy thing. Make your talks look prettier and make it move faster. That way you don't have to worry so much about actually coming up with good ideas. As this talk is sort of a demonstration of. Another thing, slides are not the same as writing a paper for a conference. I've been involved in a lot of conferences. Some people go, rather than write a paper and a set of slides, I'll just put all of the words from my paper on a slide. This is bad. It's not called a reading, it's a talk.
It's a separate medium. You should have separate material. This is really easy to do. When you do a traditional set of slides, you're reading the bullet points. I do this a lot if I have to do these sort of talks. I find it very easy to just sit there and read it. You can read ahead. You know what I'm saying. Email, something I have to work to get your attention back. If you have to do it, don't read the bullet points out. Hide them. Better yet, don't do that. Also, never, ever, ever use standard PowerPoint clip art. You know the little cartoon of going like this? Everyone knows it. I'm not saying don't use pictures, you know, you can just use different pictures. So what are slides for? Slides are not there for people to read ahead. They're there for emphasis. You should be paying attention to what I'm saying. The stuff on screen is just to add punch to it, and occasionally punchlines. You know, you can set something up and then go, and here's what I'm talking about, and show a demonstration. You want to have a free-flowing talk. You want your talk to just keep moving without people having to stop and get bored. The thing is, that part of a free-flowing talk is that you want people to be paying attention to you, not paying attention to the slides. You want to just keep going and going and not have to work too hard to keep the audience's attention. It's much harder to get the audience's attention back once you lose it. If you keep the audience's attention, if you keep them engaged, it's a much better experience for everyone. So how do you do this? How do you actually do a talk? You know, well, obviously, practice. Do talks, watch talks. When you go to a conference, watch other people speak. If they speak well, work out what they were doing that you're not. If they speak badly, work out what they did wrong. Know what you're talking about. Don't just, you know, turn up with someone else's slides and have doing it. That's terrible. Practice some more. Sit down, read through your slides at half an hour before you present them. Just make sure you know what you're talking about. The timing of this sort of talk, rather than having, you know, one slide every 2 minutes, it's a bit trickier. You need to think about how long is my talk going to run. These sort of things. If you want to really get good at it, go watch stand-up comics, or go watch professional speakers, like people telling stories. Watch how they tell the story, watch how they tell jokes. You don't have to be funny, but you just watch how they engage the audience. It's a really good way to learn how to do speaking, how to engage with an audience. And go back and do some practice. Obviously, don't rip them off the meeting directly, but, you know, learn these things. So in conclusion, please steal any of the ideas, because I stole them. I didn't make this stuff up like myself. I stole this original format from a guy called Larry Lester. He's a copyright lawyer in the US. This is, a lot of other people now do this style of thing. Everyone shares from each other. It's part of open source. When you see someone with a good idea in their talk, go, ooh, how can I use that? Just say no to bullshit. Thank you.
Mana? Ya. Tak ada kot. Jalan je kot.
Oh, pribadi.